Hey guys, it's Minister K. I just got out of class not too long ago. So I'm done with classes for today. But I decided to do this video, not knowing who it may touch. I recently posted a picture a couple hours ago. And it talked about separation from people. Um, which I had to encounter, and I'm still encountering. But I went through that the most in the year of 2013, last year. um, I didn't understand it at that time, especially by me being so young. I wanted friends, I wanted people in my life, not realizing that they were hindering me. They were pulling me back from moving forward. And the picture basically said God says the reason some people have turned against you and walked away from you without reason has nothing to do with you. It is because I have removed them from your life because they cannot go where I'm taking you next. They will only hinder you in your next level because they have already served their purpose in your life. Let them go and keep moving. Greater is coming, says the Lord. Um, my biggest problem, and I'm sharing this with you guys, my biggest problem on last year was letting people go. I had people in my life that I became so closely connected to that it was hard for me to let go. And I knew from jump, they didn't have no business being in my life, but by me being so closely connected, by me wanting, people in my life, it was hard to let them go. And since I didn't let them go, God actually caused things to happen that removed them out of my life. Um, and I began to beat myself up over it because I was like, God, I'm in ministry, I'm young, I'm serving you, ministering to youths. Well, what am I doing wrong? Why is that person, you know, not wanting to be a part of my life? And I had to realize that when God says to move, you have to move. Um, which was hard for me because when God told me to move, I couldn't because I had so many people that were connected to me, so many different spirits that constantly, weighed me down to the point where when God said, Kasia, I need for you to move, I couldn't because they were actually pulling me back. I had so much. It's like if God tells you to move and you have so many baggage, connected to you, you can't jump up and move because you have so many things that's attached to you that's hindering you, that's, pulling you back. And when I was sitting here and when I was thinking of that, I was like, you know, in 2013, I was stagnated in some places. When God said, Kasia, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. I didn't really have the drive to do it because I had so many different people planning things in my ear that wasn't, lining up with what God says. Um, and to this day, I'm grateful. I'm thankful that I let some people go. I'm grateful that He removed some people out of my life. I understand now that it had nothing to do with me. It was only because they would hinder me from where God was taking me. And I came to encourage you that I was at that place, especially on last year. I went through so much. Um, I had people connected to me that were not sent by God. They wore the title of, being a Christian. They wore the title of, being this, doing that for God. And, you know, when I actually got close to them, when I actually connected myself with them, Christians, we build each other up, but it seems like I was being weighed down. And, spirit of depression, spirit of anxiety, all that bombarded me on last year at one time. And I'm like, well, God, if I'm connected to people who label themselves as Christians, doing your will, why am I not moving? Why aren't they encouraging me, to go, to press? And, that was at that time when God said, I need for you to discern before you connect. Because spirit of discernment is so crucial. It is so crucial. God can send people, and the enemy can send people. And that's where I was. And I mean, to this day, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful that I'm careful on who I connect with. I'm careful on who I share my visions with. I'm careful on a lot of things. And you know, last year, when I think about it, I let all that stuff go. If you want to leave, you want to walk out of my life, then go. I honestly don't care. But last year I was very emotional. When people told me they didn't want to be bothered with me anymore, I began to beat myself up, began to question God. Well, God, why me? I'm young. I'm 19 years old. I'm in ministry, but I'm not built for this. I'm not built for people telling me they want to leave. They don't want to be bothered with me anymore. And I was at that point in my life where I began to question God, you know, and God told me, He was like, I did not send those people into your life. And, and I was like, well, God, they're Christians. Who wouldn't want to attach themselves to a Christian? And I'm grateful, to operate now in the spirit of discernment, because I was stagnated. I was very stagnated last year, and people, constantly pulling on me, constantly pulling me back, because I believe it was because they knew what I was capable of. And forgive me, I'm getting very emotional right now. I came to encourage you: be careful who you connect with, be careful who you share your visions with, because people may say that, they're for you, and that they will never hurt you, but operating in the spirit of discernment is very crucial. Excuse me. It's very crucial. And I'm thankful for my parents. They've supported me, they've lifted me up. But we have to be careful who you connect yourself with. Very careful. Because if you don't, you will connect yourself with spirits. And spirits, it's hard. It's very hard, because spirits are transferable. If you connect yourself with people who, are always down, depressed, sooner or later that same spirit is gonna, attach to you. And that's where I was. I was connected to people who were always down, who was always, they called themselves Christians, but when I really, got close to them, I was like, this is not how a Christian lives. This is not how a Christian talks. This is Christians, Christians don't do this type of stuff. So I came to encourage, most of you guys, don't be shaken by people. Don't feel the need to just want to connect with someone because, they say they operate in ministry. Don't. Do not. People can operate in ministry and they weren't even called to ministry. So I came to encourage you: don't be shaken over people. People want to go. Thank God that they want to go. Don't stress over no one. Don't stress over people, because people can be your biggest hindrance. They can be your biggest hindrance. And I thank God for the connections I have today. I thank God for the godly people I have in my life today, because last year it was hard. So, and you have to understand, if God tells you to move and you're connected to so many different spirits, you won't go nowhere. It's not until you release those people out of your life, then you can move. So, excuse me for being so emotional. Be careful. Be careful who you connect yourself with. Don't put your trust. Don't put your trust in man. Place your trust in God. Man, they can be with you one day, you do them something wrong, turn on you the next day. Put your trust and your confidence in God. And so, yeah, you can encourage someone, anyone. Don't stress over people. They're not worth it. They're really not. So, I hope this touched someone. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. So yeah, I have homework to do. So I love you guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Keep praying for me. Praying for all of you. I hope to see all of you in heaven one day. All of you in heaven one day. My heart is just that big that I want to see all of you in heaven one day. I love you guys. There's nothing you can do about it.